When night fell on the palace, a coffin waited in silence, and history learned her name. In an age ruled by superstition, whispers and torchlight-shaped truth and fear walked every hall. She sat crowned and flawless, yet her eyes held storms, beauty praised, power dreaded. Each night she chose the coffin, velvet, cold, serene, mastering death before death mastered her. Memento mori, whispered rites, forbidden pages, immortality sought by living as the dead, truth or delusion. When the final day arrived, the coffin was ready. Followers called her fearless, enemies mad. Behind the veil remains one lesson: embrace your fears or be ruled by them. It was a time when the air itself seemed cursed. Smoke, fear, and silence haunted every street. Masked doctors walked the alleys, lanterns flickering, while the sick collapsed into shadow, abandoned to fate. Beyond the city walls, war painted the earth in blood. Broken weapons and wounded men left in the mud. Inside the palace, whispers cut deeper than swords. A hidden dagger waited in the dark. Even the chapels spoke of death. Skulls carved in stone, shadows etched in glass, candles bleeding wax. Where others fled from death, she welcomed its shadow. The coffin became her nightly companion. Through corridors of mist and silence, her figure lingered, a queen cloaked in fear and mystery. And so the question endures: why did she choose the coffin as her bed of rest? She was powerful, elegant, and feared by all who stood before her throne. Her beauty was praised in every hall, yet behind her eyes, shadows lingered. Whispers claimed she dined in chambers lined with gold, a banquet for power, not for hunger. She wore jewels cut from bloodstone, crimson gems said to carry curses, and still they said her destiny was forever cursed. For the coffin was not her fear, it was her comfort. Each evening, the palace fell into silence, and her chamber filled with shadows. Servants lit candles with trembling hands, as if preparing a shrine instead of a bed. Not a bed of silk, but a coffin, waiting like a throne of darkness. Black as midnight, polished like obsidian. Inside, lined with velvet, a softness that mocked the grave. Yet the air was cold, breath turning to mist above its rim. There she lay, pale, serene, hands folded as if already departed. Her face carried calm, a faint smile, as though death itself was gentle. Some believed this ritual made her fearless, untouched by the terror of night. Others swore it preserved her youth, a secret stolen from the grave. But the servants trembled, clutching prayers as they watched in dread. Even its shadow twisted across the walls, a figure larger than life. They saw her resting there, candle halos crowning her in eerie grace. Even guards dared not look inside her chamber, afraid of what they might see. and so the sight of their queen in her coffin sent shivers through the palace walls. Why would a queen choose such a ritual, to sleep each night as if already dead? Some historians whisper she followed memento mori, the reminder that all must die. That beauty fades, like petals falling from withered roses. That power crumbles, like crowns broken and left in dust. For death spares no one, not even kings, not even queens. Others claim she turned to the occult, chasing secrets inked in forbidden pages.
Come forth.
That she sought immortality, reflected in shadows that never faded. By lying each night in her coffin, as though she had already passed beyond. But a darker theory spread, of assassins hidden in the palace halls. She feared the dagger in the dark, and found safety only within her coffin. For in her coffin she believed she could not be touched. Even her enemies dared not disturb it. The coffin became her untouchable shield. Soon, the coffin was the most feared object in all the palace. Some called it mere superstition, a nightly ritual to bind her fate. Others saw the signs, symbols scrawled in shadow, marks of forbidden faith. To her, the coffin was armor, polished wood stronger than steel. Yet in her pacing footsteps, paranoia echoed louder than prayers. Guards kept watch, but even they stood frozen outside her door. The coffin glowed in mist and shadow, a relic of fear alive within the stone. Whispers spread through corridors,
Be ready.
Servants too afraid to enter her chamber. Whether superstition, ritual, or madness, her coffin defined her reign. When her final day came, the storm had already gathered over the palace. The coffin was not built for her death. It had been waiting all along. To her followers, she was remembered as disciplined, unwavering, fearless. But to her enemies, she was remembered as mad, lost in shadows of obsession. Her coffin was carried through the rain, velvet dripping, torches guiding the way. Through the cathedral doors, mourners followed as silence consumed the hall. Before the altar, her coffin was lowered, the final chapter sealed in stone. All agreed on one truth: her life was bound to death itself. Her name was carved in stone, etched forever into the memory of the dead. She had lived her life in the arms of death, and now she rested there. Behind the veil of history lies a simple truth. Sometimes the strangest habits hide the deepest fears. Would you dare to sleep in your grave, night after night? This was the queen who did. Subscribe to Veil and uncover the stories the world tried to bury.